I'd like to begin. I'd like to say good evening. My name is Joye Logan. Welcome to the New Brunswick Free Public Library's closing reception for the exhibit, In a Nutshell, The Worlds of Maurice Sendak. This is a national traveling exhibition which explores the influence of the old and new worlds in the work of renowned illustrator Maurice Sendak. We are thrilled to have hosted this exhibit here in New Brunswick, and I would like to thank Library Director Robert Belvin for initializing the whole process of us applying for and thus receiving this exhibit. And I would like to thank my partners in this endeavor, our incredible Assistant Director, Linda Crittenden, and our marvelous archivist, Kim Adams. Some housekeeping: if you have cell phones, please put them on silent or turn them off. I would like everyone to note that the cookies, all except for the cream puffs, are kosher in celebration of the Jewish holidays and Maurice Sendak's Jewish heritage. And you might note that on your chair you had a program as well as an evaluation form. If you would please fill that out after the presentation. There are golf pencils on the table there so that you can fill them out. Also on the table there's the guest book. Please sign your name. That helps us keep track of how many people we have coming to the exhibit. So, if you want to sign with them. All right, on to the exhibit information. Sendak may be best known as the creator of the 1963 picture book Where the Wild Things Are, but he has illustrated more than 100 picture books. His most recent book, Artie, was just published last month. The core theme to this exhibit is the inspiration behind his art. As you can read in the official exhibit description, he was born to Polish immigrants in Brooklyn in 1928, and his childhood was typically American in a number of ways. At the same time, he became fascinated as a child with the worn black and white photographs of his European relatives, and the influence of both of these worlds, the threads of Jewish family, geography, and culture, can be seen in his imaginative work. In a Nutshell was organized by the Rosenbach Museum and Library of Philadelphia, and developed by Next Book, Inc., a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting Jewish literature, culture, and ideas, and the American Library Association Public Programs Office. The national tour of the exhibit has been made possible by grants by the Charles H. Reston Foundation, the Righteous Persons Foundation, the David Berg Foundation, and an anonymous donor, and additional support from Tablet Magazine, a new read on Jewish life. Tonight's program is the final in a series of events we organized and presented in conjunction with hosting this exhibit here at the New Brunswick Free Public Library. Our opening reception on September 7th officially opened the exhibit to the public here with a wonderful presentation by tonight's speaker, Patrick Rodgers. That event was generously sponsored by our friends of the library. On September 19th, we held a genealogy workshop led by our very own local history and genealogical specialist, Jackie Oshman, along with genealogist Janet Reamer, former head of preservation at Rutgers University Library's Special Collections and University Archives. On September 24th, we had a lovely poetry program with B.J. Ward, a recognized New Jersey poet and teacher, who led the attendees in a moving and inspiring writing workshop. B.J.'s appearance was graciously sponsored by Ian Buchanan, Pacific Director of Booz Allen Hamilton. And just this past Thursday, October 6th, Ms. Kim Adams presented a fun Sendak story time for kids of all ages. I would like to thank all these presenters and sponsors for these successful programs which help bring the community into the library and to the exhibit. I would also like to take this opportunity to make sure you all know that you can find pictures from these past events and find out about upcoming library programs as well as other library-related information on our website, nbfpl.org. The library is also on Facebook, Twitter, and even Google+. So please find us and like us, follow us, and add us to your circles. Some exciting news relates to upcoming programs is that we will be getting another traveling exhibit next year, which will be about the Civil War in celebration of the sesquicentennial, and will be arriving in mid-August of 2012. The In a Nutshell exhibit, which is back there if you haven't seen it yet, will remain open to the public here until Thursday, October 13th, after which it will be packed up and shipped to its next location. I would like to note that we're only able to have the exhibit open to the public because of the fabulous group of people who volunteered to be docents. To host an exhibit such as this, we are required to in some way staff it, and we would not have the resources to do that without volunteers. I would like to personally thank all of these volunteers, many of whom are here, for the generous gift of your time and presence. Also, if you are by any chance interested in volunteering for something like this in the future, please talk to me or one of the other staff members after the presentation, or call or email the library. Finally, I am honored to introduce tonight's guest speaker, Patrick Rodgers. Some of you might remember Patrick from his presentation for our opening reception for the exhibit, during which he entertained and fascinated everyone present. For those of you who do not know, Patrick Rodgers is the traveling exhibitions coordinator at the Rosenbach Museum and Library in Philadelphia, which is the home of Maurice Sendak's picture book artwork. Rodgers has curated exhibitions of Sendak's work since 2007 and has interviewed Mr. Sendak extensively. He presented some of that interview footage during his opening reception presentation and will again tonight, as well as some more enjoyable insights into this exhibit and the artist it is all about. Please join me in welcoming Patrick.